One thing, just like maybe before the story, because it's a pretty short story, so maybe just like explain why I'm giving the stories, because I always felt like in my mission, it was a lot of being safe was like, I felt like it was on you. Does that make sense? Like, it wasn't, that I was just walking around obliviously into like, oh, there's a bunch of gangsters, I'm just gonna freaking go and contact them or whatever. You had to be smart. You had to be very aware of your surroundings. Obviously, if there was a situation where I knew there were gangsters, like, just hanging out, and I needed to walk by them to go somewhere, I wasn't afraid of it. I was confident in the fact that I would be protected. That being said, missionaries get jumped. Like, members of the church keep the commandments all the time and still die in car accidents and still die in train wrecks, or still die from these accidents, these kind of weird things that happen. Missionaries, I'm not saying any missionaries have died, because I don't think any have died because of gangsters, right? Unfortunately, recently we've heard of some missionaries that have died doing service or getting hit by a vehicle or something. But you got to be smart. You have to be smart and aware of your surroundings. So one night, my companion and I were like walking, and as we were walking, it was in Rio Sarco. It was Elder Hammond and I, and as we were walking, we always would take this shortcut, because Rio Sarco was kind of in like a boomerang shape. So we'd kind of take this shortcut when we were over here through this like little forest thing, and it was getting dark, and we're like, you know what, like, should we go, should we not go? And we're like, we'll go, because we always go, nothing's ever happened to us. If someone is there, they'll know we're the missionaries. Most of the time they don't mess with us. And as we're walking and getting there, it's getting pretty dark at this point. Both Elder Hammond and I just kind of stopped, and we just like looked at each other, and we like, our hair was like kind of standing up on the back of our necks, just because like, all of a sudden we were scared, because we were feeling the Spirit telling us, like, don't go that way. And so that was very, it was a super weird experience. We actually started walking forward. We're like, no, like, we're just feeling weird. But we had both felt it at the same time, and then all of a sudden we like felt it again. We're like, do not go that way. So we turned around and just like took off, almost running, because we were like, if the Spirit's going to tell us twice, like, let's get the heck out of here. So we took off, and we got back to kind of like the main road, and we just kind of went in that like boomerang shape all the way over to where we were going. And we never found out if something happened there, if someone was waiting there, or if someone was jumped or murdered there, and it wasn't us, but somebody else. So I don't think anyone was murdered, because we would have heard about it. But it was a very like, it was a wake up call. It was like a wake up experience. Like, be aware of your surroundings. Don't do dumb things. And at the end of the day, even if you think that it's not going to be dangerous and the Spirit tells you not to do it, like, absolutely listen to it. Because then later on in my mission, when I would feel those same feelings that I felt there, and I would listen to them, that's when I would hear things like, oh, in this certain area of, this certain zone of my area, somebody was murdered last night. And it was like, that's where we were going. And that's where we were told not to go, So, that was a pretty cool experience, as far as like, kind of staying safe.